Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to add some crinkle plastic paper into your candy corn bitty. This is something that you could use in the bodies of the other bitties as well if you wanted to. So you can, kind of adapt this technique to put some crinkle paper in there. It makes a fun little teeter toy for the babies. So this one here already has crinkle paper in it. I don't have the eyes embroidered on here yet, but you can see that it just kind of makes a fun noise. My son loves to chew on them and play with them while they make noise. So to get started, you are going to want to have your orange part of your candy corn done and the yellow part. And you can see here that I have attached my white yarn and I've left a really long tail for the yellow. So when you cut that yellow yarn, you're going to want to leave a long tail. And this is so that you can sew through the plastic. The plastic I just ordered off of Amazon, but there's a lot of various things you can use. Someone suggested a cereal bag that you could rinse it out and use that. So that's a good idea. This is my plastic. It's going to be a little hard to see here, but you can see it's a little bit bigger than my candy corn. So I wanted it to be a little big just so that I had some extra room and it would make some extra crinkle. So you can kind of play around and see what works for you, but this is mine. So what you're going to do is you have your long tail here and you've switched to your white yarn. And so I like to first go around and do the first and second row with my white yarn before I add in the crinkle paper, because once you add the crinkle paper in, then you're going to have to crochet around the candy corn and the top of the crinkle paper. So it gets a little bit trickier, not too bad, but the nice thing about this project is it's a pretty fast workup. Hopefully that has been the same for you, but it's a pretty quick little toy. So I'm doing my round of 18 stitches here. And then I'm going to do one round of bobbles. All right, so I've got my 18 half double crochet stitches, and now I'm going to add my bobbles. So you'll start with 3 single crochets and then a bobble stitch. I apologize if this video is a little bit dark today. I needed to film today, and of course I couldn't get my light box working, and it is pretty overcast outside today. But sometimes that's just how it falls, so hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm just working around my bobbles. The bobble rows take a little bit longer than the half double rows. And just keep moving those tails out of the way. You don't want to tuck them inside because you're going to need to use them. All right, couple more here. Okay. So once you get to that last stitch, then just pull a loop through your white yarn so that you don't lose it. But you're going to work with the yellow yarn for the moment. So the white tail you can tuck inside. You just need to use the yellow tail. All right, so I have my tail threaded onto a needle, and you can see it's in the middle of the candy corn. So I like to move it over to the side. So I'm just going to pull it right through this bobble right here so that you can start over on an edge. All right, and then you're going to take your crinkly paper and stuff that inside there. It's not going to fit perfectly flat in there because, like I said, we made it a little bit too big, just to make sure it had good crinkle. So hopefully you can see that I've got most of the crinkle paper inside here, but I have a little bit that's sticking out the top right here. And at this point, if you want, you can use pins to kind of hold that crinkle paper in place. So you could put a pin through the front and back, and that'll just hold that plastic where you want it to be. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take this long tail and you're going to sew through the sides of your candy corn buddy and go through the plastic as you go. So there's not any specific technique or anything like that. I just go kind of back and forth and go into this yellow row and just make sure that you're going through the plastic as you go. So you'll go all the way across here. And that'll just hold that plastic in place. So that then when, you know, you've got a little one playing with it, it's not going to bunch up in one corner. All right, so we'll go all the way across here. If you want to, you can go back across. It's kind of up to you how secure you want it to be in there. But then once I get to the end, I'll take these pins out. And then I'm just going to tie my tail. And weave it back in to the buddy. All right, then you can cut that tail. So then you can cut that yellow tail. You won't need the excess anymore. And then you go back to your white yarn, and you can see that on the last rows of the white portion, you'll have to work around this plastic. So it'll be a little bit tricky to work around, but basically you just finish the plastic. And then once you get to the top, and I'm not going to show all the rest of the rounds, but you'll work around that plastic. And then once you get to the top, when you cinch it, you're going to cinch the stitches at the top, but then just take that tail and just like you did with the yellow yarn, go a few passes through the top of the candy corn, and that will then hold this plastic in place at the top as well. So then you have a secure stitch kind of across the middle and a secure stitch at the top to hold it in place. If you wanted to, you could do the same thing with the tail here, between the orange and the yellow. I haven't really found that it was necessary. I let my 7-month-old play with this one for a while, and with that midway stitching and then the top stitching, it has not bunched or had any problems. So I think it's okay just to have the one stitch in the middle and the one stitch at the top, but it's up to you. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and ask me. It's the first time I've used crinkle plastic in any of my projects, and it is kind of fun. But this is just the technique that worked for me, so wanted to share it with everybody else. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much.